Oh, and thanks for joining us for Confessions and Convictions. You're probably wondering, who's that guy in the caption? That was yours truly, once upon a time. Yeah, young man who's a certainly handsome fellow. He's not too bad today either. Anyhow, we're not talking about that today. Jesus must increase. I'll be not remembered unless I speak of him. But today, we're going to speak of something from what our pastor spoke about last week. He was a little disappointed that some people that he knew or close to him and friends that have left the church over perhaps reformed theology like election, predestination, things that R.C. Sproul and others would hold pretty dear to. Calvin would. Oh, let's talk about it. So, where do the two meet? Does doctrinal clarity, which is important, don't get me wrong, it's important, have relational tension? You bet it does. But not all pastors are sensitive to that. There's disagreement. Whenever disagreement sets in, it often leads to a distance. Is theology then more important than people? Well, if it is, then we're preaching to an empty church hall. Now, it's true. We serve the Lord, and there is an audience of one. And I've done that before. As a young, starting out in ministry, I remember preaching to just chairs. It is good practice. However, it doesn't bring many converts. It doesn't persuade many people, does it? No. And so if you bring this up in your church, that yes, there might be a blind spot about being doctrinally right, but relationally distant, well, the question then is, does good theology, is it equal to good shepherding? If they claim to be shepherds, as some do, then how's the response? Is it accepted? Is it well taken? Is the instruction of a wise man, does he take the rebuke? Does he listen? Or is he unteachable? You see, the response can be met by the higher ups with pride, with defense, or isolation. Hey, we're just holier than you, and you're wrong. If that's the case, you might want to be like Forrest Gump and put on your Nikes and skirt yourself out. Yeah, people can preach a good word. Although that is surprising. I didn't think that was possible back in my day and still be on track. But people can preach a good word and yet have no idea how their congregation is living. Perhaps they might need to reopen that Bible there of theirs and look inside and find out, you know what? Jesus made house calls. Yes, he did. Jesus went to people's houses when they were sick, when they were dying, when they were hurting. And if you don't have your pastor's phone number or email, that's not a good sign. If the email is, well, the secretary says you can get in a week or 2 or 3 weeks, he's really busy, that's not a good sign. It's almost church as a business or an administrative act. Yeah, there is counseling, and I'm sure it's good. But if you're waiting like you're waiting in a doctor's office, you might need to think about it. Because church isn't about rules and regulations. Although there are rules and regulations in there, sure. Otherwise, there'd be total chaos. But it's more about our relationship with Jesus. And Jesus was compassionate. And Jesus he didn't have to learn anything. We had to learn to confess our sins and ask for forgiveness. And so, if that can be done, perhaps the two can meet eye to eye. Leave your thoughts and comments should you be so inclined. And if you want to be a friend, crush that subscribe button below. In the meantime, thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you again. God bless. Have a wonderful night and grow in grace. And don't forget, serve at your church. Church means a lot more when you're actually moving and participating. serve with a glad heart unto the Lord.